Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Live on Neevesknives. Neevesknives live. How's everybody doing tonight? I see there's not too many people in here tonight. Showing up a little slow, but that's all right. We can go on. I see Kyle's in here. What's up, Kyle? Phone go on, and his phone's gonna die. Be back in 15 minutes. All right, we'll be here. Kara is playing her game at the moment. I'm gonna try to get her to pop in. But I can hear her in the background. She's definitely getting it in. We'll see though. What's that? No, it didn't. In a game? Anyways, I do want to talk. Earlier, if you guys watched my video, maybe you didn't. I did a little bit of a rant about Tucson because I recently got a Tucson that I can't seem to see right here. The Tucson TS194. Mazwan Mokhtar design. Now, the thing is there was something else I wanted to add into that video, and I didn't. I kept it back. I didn't, I probably should have. But I'm going to talk about it here now. And it's about their steel, because Outpost 76 recently did a test on their steel and even had an HRC test. Now, this is specifically for their M398. M398 should be ran at I think 63 to 65, somewhere in there, I think. I'm not a specialist on M398. I've had Tucsons, but only briefly. So I didn't test it or anything. Now, M398 should be a high wear resistant steel, really hard, like I said, between 63 and 65, something like that. I'm not going to tell you, I'll just tell you it didn't do well, right? Because I want you guys to go watch the video. I believe it tested at 59 HRC, which is super soft for M398. Now, what does that reflect for their M390? It's tough. It's tough to say. Probably that their fucking M3. I mean, we already know their M390 is soft, so that goes without saying. Their M390 is soft. Now, it's been entirely I in the beginning, every company was running it soft, and noticing that they were consistently improving on things, and I seen patterns of that. I seen patterns of them improving things over time, whether that was the designers listening to the reviewers or if it was them. Regardless, they were doing things that people were kind of complaining about and kind of fixing. Well, heat treat was one of them. And I did see a little bit of an improvement, at least it seemed. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed. And I was thinking and hoping, I guess, that it would just continue to improve like other companies were, because other companies are doing that too, especially with like M390, and that steel. But they haven't improved it. They've basically kept it what seems like the same. And after seeing that M398 test, that really, it's upsetting. Why are you using M398? Why are you using it if you're not going to do it the way it's supposed to be done? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Like, you might as well just do S35VN or something, or a steel that's a little bit easier for you guys to heat treat, that does good in that HRC range that you guys fucking want to put everything at. All these steels are different. They're not supposed to all be ran at the same HRC. I remember when I first got in the community, I honestly thought, because this was just what I heard, and I didn't know any better, but I honestly thought, HRC should be between 58 and 60. I didn't even know that different steels, and everything. I didn't know any better. And that's just what I had heard. What did I hear about HRC? 58 to 60 is the good number. You don't want it any lower than that. But now I know better, right? And everybody else does too, for the most part. And the company should, the company should know that. But obviously they're not. Or they don't, or they're just not doing it. But yeah, it kind of is upsetting, with companies like Tucson, because they're using great steels. And it's like, why? Why are you even using the steels if you're not going to do them right? I guess. But then it's insulting, right? It becomes insulting because it's like, oh, you're trying to sell it to people that don't fucking know any better. That's what you're trying to do. You're not trying to sell a good product to knife people that fucking know any better. You're trying to sell it on the number that's on the blade, not the quality. And I can't stand behind that. I can't stand behind that anymore. And I've stood behind them for a long time. And it's not that like I'm throwing them out, I would 100% still, buy some of their models, but I'm probably going to continue to get more and more critical and more upset about it, the longer it gets without them improving their heat treats, or two, stop doing some of the other dumb shit they're doing. Like, I know the pivot collar thing that I keep bitching about, that fucking ugly, stupid, ridiculous, junk ass pivot collar that I fucking despise. Besides that, because that's a design thing, that's like from Mazwan. That's not Tucson doing that. That's Mazwan doing that. Which if I was Mazwan, I would 100% throw that out. I just get rid of that. I promise. If you're listening, Mazwan, I promise you, you are not, your designs are not going to sell half as much with that pivot collar. Most of your Tucson's designs are not sold in China. They're sold in other countries, and other countries don't want to see China wrapped like in big bold fucking letters on their knife. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Now, like, obviously, like, the USA made knives, right? We don't even like that always from the USA line. Now we tolerate it, and a lot of times we like it with the USA because we're from the USA, so it's prideful. And where does USA Knives sell most of their knives? In the USA. So it's their market buying it. Carco, I can't find my bell. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the 5 bones. Got a Tucson with M398. The sticker on the box with the model literally says 306-M3, then 98 wrote in pen. Huh. Yeah, I tried some of their M398, but I didn't test it or anything. So I really can't speak on it myself, but I watched the damn cut test and I trust the guy who did it. So I have no doubt that they're not running it very, very poorly. And the HRC proves it all. Really, you don't even have to see the cut test. I mean, you should go watch the cut test. But I'm saying the HRC says it all, because of what it should be ran at. It's kind of like this, right? S35, right? A lot of us know S35. A lot of us have S35, right? S35, 58 to 60, 60, 61, that's a good spot for it, right? If it was tested and it came out at 55 HRC, you'd be fucking irate. Like, it would be, you would not hold an edge at all, right? It would be super soft, like just stupid soft. Like, even putting an edge on it would be like, the burr would be ridiculous, but you wouldn't tolerate it because it's so soft. But that's the same thing that's happening with these other steels. It's the same thing. It's just, it's winds up being in a range that some other steels do good in. But that doesn't mean it's supposed to be there. Are you seriously drinking coffee at 7? Fuck yeah, I am. Fuck yeah. Caffeine don't affect me. I'm thinking about starting a local sharpening service and maybe doing regrinds and finish work. Hell yeah. It sounds badass. I know I'm going to be opening up my sharpening books in about 2 weeks, guys, just so you guys know. I know a lot of people really, really want to get in. I'm only probably going to be able to load up about 40 spots. So I'm probably just going to make a post on Instagram, first come, first serve. I feel bad because I know people like really waited and things like that. It's difficult because there's just so many people. But I'm going to open it up and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anybody seen old fart Kyle? Yeah, he said he'll be back in 15. He says his phone's dead. He obviously hasn't listened to me when I've talked about carrying an electronics pack with you, right? Because if he was, then he would have an electronics pack. Every one of you should have one of those. You should have some type of pouch or pack, you know, something like this. All right, some type of pouch, big, small, whatever, some type of pouch, and have a battery pack inside of it that you can charge at home and take with you. And then if you run into somebody that has a dead battery or needs a charge, or you need a charge, or something's dying that you have, you can charge it. Then get one of those. It's a cord. It's a multi-purpose cord. Get a cord that goes to everything. It's a cord that has like 3 ends on it, and then there's even ends that pop off so you can get a different end, and it fits everything. So you'll never have to worry about having the right cord. One cord does everything. Get that. Like me, that's a prized possession. I don't go anywhere without my battery pack. Usually, for the most part. Like if I'm just going somewhere quick, of course, that's fine. But if I'm going anywhere for a little while and I have my phone, like there's a good, like I want to, use my phone. I don't want to have to not use my phone because of my battery. So, but I never have to worry about that. And then like even when I'm out, there's a lot of times somebody's next to me or needs a charge, and I'm just like, here, hook it up. I did that on the plane with when we went to Atlanta. The lady that was next to us, her phone was dying, and I just, here you go. And I carry 2 of them. So I have a small battery pack that's someone that I can hand off to people, and then I got a nice big one that'll charge just about anything. Seems logical says Jared is super popular now. Hard to get him to sharpen your knife these days. That's not entirely true. If you're a friend, you can always send your stuff in. But yeah, what it was that, I have a lot of things I'm trying to work on with the channel, and I'm trying to catch up. I'm learning things, and there's a learning curve, and it's difficult for me. So I'm putting a lot of effort into a lot of things at once and trying really hard. And it's not good for me to have people's knives in for services I have a responsibility to return and things like that, because I'll have them entirely way too long. I won't get them done fast enough. I won't have enough time for them. So it makes it difficult, but I'm going to open it up though. Is Jared's sister seriously in the chat? She might be. Oh, yep, there she is. Hell yeah, I'm gonna tease my brother. What's up, Erica? How you doing? 10 bones from Usler. What's up, man? Thank you for the 10 bones. I appreciate it. Hey, man, what do you think of the 4V Kaiser Cormorant? Worth getting? I mean, I don't have a 4V version. Do I? No, I don't think so. I have a 20 CV version though. I like the Cormorant. I wish it was a little bit bigger. That's my biggest gripe with that. And I don't mean much. I mean like a ½ inch bigger. It's in this size for me where it's either a little bit too big to be a little knife and then a little bit too small to be a full size knife. And it's just like, it's not, to me personally, it's a great knife. I like the knife. My favorite version is, it was the micarta version, but now it's obviously the Frag titanium 20 CV version, and I like it. I love it a lot. Like, it's a good knife, but I just, I can't help but like just wish it was a little tiny bit bigger. And I think though that could be a bad thing too if it went too big. It has to be like just a little bit. because where the hole lands, like where your finger is, it's very fidgety. Like it's really good. So you really wouldn't want to change it too much. But anyways, it's a good knife, and I don't think you can go wrong with it. It's very fidgety, very slicey, nice hollow grind. Um, Hey, Talica with the 20 bones. Jared, you're my guy. Love you, brother. I can't wait for the Curtis. My wound will hurt 2 weeks later. Yeah, so Talica bought a Curtis custom and sent it to BGM to get a regrind because, like a lot of customs, some customs, it's like they're thick or they're super thin. One or the other. You usually don't get a happy medium with a custom. Anyways, so his was a little bit too thick, so he sent it in to get a regrind, and it's gonna come back screaming. Gonna have to put a new edge on it for sure. And then he happened to drop his his new Mannix. I think he said into his leg, which I've done that, so I get it. And then I think it dropped and then hit the ground and then broke the tip. I've definitely done that. No, nothing too embarrassing. No, he is still embarrassed about the acrylic nail incident. Hey, we're not supposed to talk about that, asshole. Make an LLC for sharpening and train a few employees to sharpen your standards. You know, if I could do that, I would. If I could do that, I would. But that's not easy, man. Teaching somebody and trusting somebody else to do the work for you. I remember somebody who was sending me their knives or contacting me and wanted me to sharpen their knives and was worried that that's what I was doing. Like he was like, I just want to make sure that I'm sending it to you and that you're the one that's going to be sharpening it. You know, it's like, and I'm thinking in my head, like, who the fuck else would sharpen it? Like, oh, I can give it to Kara, but he doesn't know, right? He doesn't know, but I insured him. But yeah, if you could trust, like, they would have to already be somewhat good. Because teaching somebody, I mean, to get to a level of which you're confident and would hand somebody a Shurogorov or something, they would have to have 2 years under their belt, you know, doing it. And it's not that they couldn't be really good within 6 months. And if they dedicated themselves, it's possible that they could be great after 6 months. But just like with everything, you know, like there's a point of which you get great and then you perfect it. Right? Then it's like it's beyond, you have beyond confidence. Jared missed my chat. I missed your chat. When's the Knives Live giveaway thing? I'm not exactly sure. Look at the knives, go on their website, they might say, or follow them on Instagram or something. I'm not sure the exact date when they pull it. But I think last year was like a week after. I think it was like a week because, you know, they get in all the donations and everything, and, you know, they have to tally up everything. Seeing a lot of new names in the live. Todd says everything I have has built-in battery backup, Bluetooth speaker, Wi-Fi, range extender, etc. Smart. You know, we're just in that time where you know, we're not going backwards, we're going forwards, and electronics and tech and technology stuff is the future. But I still do think that we should not stray away from hands-on and knowing how to do things hands-on. um I think that would be a horrible thing for us to lose, just like a lot of things, you know, that seems like it's been lost with time. Some things you kind of understand because it's like there'll always be a tool that'll do this. You're not going to have to really know how to do this by hand. But a lot of things, man, it's way better if you know how to do it by hand and have the tools to do it. Hey, man, thank you for the 5 bones, puppet boy. Uh, any high quality strops you recommend? Any experience with NAF's strops? So I do have one of NAF's strops, but if I was gonna recommend a high quality one, like a really high quality one, One, like a great bang for your buck leather is Beavercraft. Beavercraft, you can get them on Amazon. I link them all the time. They have the furry stuff, the suede stuff. They have the firm stuff. They have all different kinds, and it's really affordable. Nice thick cuts of leather. Uh, Kangaroo leather is the strongest leather you can get. It's the toughest leather you can get. That stuff's really good, and that comes from Urban Edge Strops. Is it Urban Edge Strops? Yeah, Urban Edge Strops. They're from Australia, and they give kangaroo leather. Theirs are really good. But it's just about the cut of the leather, and because like right here, I wish I could pick it up. I have some leather, like my whole table right here. I have a big old sheet of leather. I actually have the other half of it out there, but the thickness of the leather, like cheap ones, like they're like sanded down where they're really thin, and it's barely any leather there. That's going to be a little bit cheaper quality, unless it's kangaroo, because kangaroo is very thin. But most cow leather, it's going to be about the quality of the leather, how thick it is. And leather's leather, but there is different qualities, different densities, different thicknesses. What cut is it? So, but yeah, Beavercraft I think is pretty good, and Urban Edge Strops is good for kangaroo leather. And then there was another one I'm trying to think of that was really, really good. I can't think of what it is. I don't remember. I tried that Viking leather stuff. That I don't like that. That stuff's too dense. Why not use your name? Not everyone. I don't know what that means. Anybody tried a Civ Mini Praxis yet? Yes, I have. Review coming soon. Picked up the Miguron Acri after your video. Nice. Had to take it apart and oil it up, but it's breaking in smoothly. Nice. I got a couple Migurons sitting here. Where the hell is it? I got this one right here. Oh man, what the hell is the name of it? Oh, I can't think of the. Oh, I can't think. Somebody help me. What's the name of this? The Hadog or something like that. Anyways, it's pretty cool though. It's their newest model. Great detent on this. Super solid. The one issue I have is that I really wish that this line or the frame lock wasn't so sharp. You want to see a really cool one that I absolutely love? The Tucson TS267. This thing is so good. Oh, look at how smooth this thing is. I mean, it's such an easy front flipper, like so easy to flip. And then the reverse flick, that whole lands perfectly in the right spot. Ergos are just hand melting. And it's not a big knife. Like it's just a perfect size. 14C28N, and these things are under $100. Full titanium frame lock, titanium backspacer, milled pocket clip that works great. 14C28N, so they're at least doing that steel decent. Like it's not the M398, so the Hadog or something like that. I think that's what the name of the Megaron was. Hey, Talica, it was the M4 Shaman. Oh yeah, with the mirror edge and fresh that went into my leg. Yeah. Oh yeah, because you saw I had sharpened it. Yeah, and then you dropped it, and yeah, okay, I remember now. I remember. That sucks to go into your leg, man. That's not good. And I've done that, so I know. I did that. I did that with this guy. And it's like 10 pounds. So, oh man, it sucked right into my leg too. Stuck me good. I bled through my pants and everything. Roll, what's up, man? Yo, Jared, going to do a reprofile on my Strider 0.75 AR Tonto. What degrees per side would you suggest to be more slicey? Think about 25 degrees. No, I would go, and I'm just being honest, what I would do, if you really want to know, I'd go 15. And let me explain why. That's thick, right? It's got thick geometry. It has the edge stability to safely take a 15-degree edge. Now, if you really don't want to go that low, I'd go to 17, but you'll be just fine because it's thick. They're usually heat treated well, and because it has the thickness behind the edge, it's going to have the stability. It's not going to be fragile at 15 degrees per side. You're going to be good with that. It'll make it extra slicey, extra sharp. It'll actually cut good. Your edge retention will go up. Everything will be a benefit. And the toughness is, unless if you're like hammering it through things, your toughness won't even matter because it's already thick behind the edge. So it's not like you're putting a 15 degrees per side on something that's 10 thousandths behind the edge. So that's what I would do. 15 degrees per side, 30 inclusive, or 17 if you really don't want to put that much work in, because it will take some work. That's the thing. It will take a little bit of time. Bald Assassin with the 10 bones. No message. Just popped in to show some love. I appreciate the love, man. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Alex says, I got a secret for you. I'm your long lost brother. I got a lot of brothers. I found out I had a new sister about a year ago. I caught a raccoon 2 weeks ago. It got to live because it was a prego. Yeah. I've caught many of them. Kubi Momentum or Suncut Sashi? Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I personally, I'd probably go with the Momentum. That's tough though, man. That's tough because Suncut does really, really good button locks. But the action on that Momentum is really, really good too. I'd probably go Momentum on that one. Also got the VOSTEED pry bar. It's nice too. Hell yeah. Any D2 fans in here? I like D2 as long as it's done well. The best D2 that I've seen this year was actually on Benchmade's. What was it? Benchmade? Can't remember the name of it now. That it had I think it was CPM D2. The fuck was the name of that? Anyways, I was surprised how good that stuff was. Other than that, Medford does a really good job with it. There's a few companies that do okay job with D2, but a lot of companies don't as well. Where has Breeze been? He's probably been working his ass off. Haven't seen that guy in a while. Did his baseball bat break and he drove down to Louisville to get a new one? Probably. I know he has been doing a lot of traveling, so I think he's just been overworked. He'll be back, I'm sure. Thanks, Kyle. There is a link to some of the Strops that I buy right there. Now I will say, like, depending on the compound you're using, if you're using a liquid, go with a denser leather, a firmer leather. If you're using a paste or like a crayon, get the softer stuff. You can use the liquid on the softer stuff. It just absorbs really fast, but you can still do it. Thank you, Bomb Squad. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Have not seen Breeze in a while. No, yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. Exciting to see if Dr. EDC does more premium version of his Thunderbird. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see for sure. Todd Carr says Kangaroo is great if you're just using it without compound, but if you're using compound, lots of stuff will work from leather, paint sticks, balsa wood, denim. Yeah, there is a lot of things you can use. Absolutely. I do think leather is the best, especially if you're using compounds, but yeah, if you're using compounds, you can use just about anything because it's the compound that's doing something. So basically you're looking for a surface to put the compound or the abrasive, which denim will work just fine. Like you said, paint sticks, wood, but leather, I like because personally, because I can clean it off and I can reapply it, and I like the way it feels. And um you kind of you stick to what you like a lot, and I like leather. I do need to practice more on denim though. What Tucson was that? Oh, this one, the TS267. This is one of the greats. Like, of all Tucsons, this is a great one. The only complaint I really have is this cutout right here. I don't like the cutout. However, this is a very simple slab, so you could technically make your own scales for this, probably in a garage. I mean, I know you could if you're handy, or you could probably send it to somebody like Carbonized, and he'd probably be able to make some like really quick, because it's a super simple just two slabs if you wanted to cover it. I haven't done it, but I absolutely love it. Such a good knife. One of my favorites in my collection for sure. Um, I tried to add your link for Strops and the Gunny Juice. However, there are 124 digits too long to fit in the space. No shit. I should have a short one. Um, Here, I'll grab it really quick. Here, I'll just grab this one really quick. If you click on this is the Gunny Juice for stropping compound. This is the best stuff in my opinion. And if you click on it, they have every different type of micron you could ever think of. So I just put it in the chat. But I appreciate it, Bomb Squad. Thank you for letting me know. D2 and the rest, it's just one of those things where you got to respect what comes before, because they slayed the way for the new super steels we have now. That's true. I like all steels. I really do. I truly like all steels. Um, I think they all have a purpose. Even the steels that I really don't like on my folders, I still like. I just like them in different applications. Um, this is our Amazon storefront, which has gotcha. Yeah, the Cavog. Yes, thank you, thank you. That's what the name of this was. Oh, man, I was close. The Cavog, the Migron Cavog. Very cool. Very snappy, great D10, great front flipper. Works really good. They did a good job on this. I just don't like. I wish the lock bar wasn't so sharp. That's it. And it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. Kind of a nitpick. Arrow Velocity with the 5 bones just got the VOSTEED Thunderbird. Nice. What edge do you recommend? Ooh, let me see. Do I have mine right here? Give me 1 second. Let me think. Where do I have mine? I have mine somewhere. All right, let me think. So it's a compound grind. It's compound grind. So you want to make sure whatever edge angle you're going to do is going to do well on both grinds. You have the hollow and then you have the flat. The flat's a little bit thicker. So you want to make sure whatever edge angle you use isn't too low, because what'll happen is the front of your knife will have a huge edge bevel, while the hollow part will have a smaller edge bevel. So I would say, I think it was 20 thousandths behind the edge, because it's a shallow hollow. It's not like a deep hollow. I think 20 degrees would be fine with that. 20 degrees per side. Now, if you want to nice and slice it, go to 17. Just be aware though that your edge angle might be a little bit. It's going to be, not might. It's going to be bigger towards the front. So if you start it and you look at it and you say, I don't like that size edge bevel on the hollow part, then you're definitely not going to like it on, because some people don't like big edge bevels. I love big edge bevels. When I see a big edge bevel, it just screams slicey to me. So I love it, but some people don't. So to each their own on that. Seems Logical likes carbs. That new Kubi Leaf looks like it'll be a great slicer. I think I have to look at that again. I can't remember that. Mr. Neeves was getting around. Yes, yes, sir. One bagel is equal to 10 slices of bread. Okay. Where the red fern grows, looking ass. Is that to me? Uh, Puppet Boy with another 5 bones, man. I appreciate it. Also, man, an Aussie retailer is doing an exclusive run of the Riet EXO in 3V. Do you think the steel suits that kind of knife? No, I don't. Um, no, I mean it doesn't. However, it's hard to, like it's like if you buy it and you're going to be using it, right? Like let's say you buy it for a user. Most people aren't gonna. But let's say you buy it and it's for a user. 3V is not going to be the steel you're going to want. However, if I guess like and I'm like trying to go to the extreme here. If you had to use it in a fucked up situation and actually use it as a self-defense knife, which I don't think it's very good for, but if you did have to, I guess you'd want a little bit tougher steel. But I honestly don't think there's any other steel that's gonna be that fragile on something like that. So no, it's not the best steel for that. It's not very corrosion resistant, so you're gonna have to worry about corrosion. It's gonna have decent edge retention if they heat treat it well, and it's gonna be super tough. But M390 or LMAX or LMAX is going to have better edge retention. So, yeah, it's not the best choice. But, it's also not that big of a deal either because 3V is still a really good steel. I like 3V. But there's certain applications where it doesn't make sense. Oh, did they? Oh man, that sucks. I didn't know that. I haven't talked to him in a little while. That sucks. Um, there's still plenty of other stropping places or strops you can get. How's that cougar holding up after its escapade with Fred and the hose? So it's doing good. I made Kara actually put what's that KPL stuff called? The KPL like knife guard or something, whatever it is. It puts a thin layer of oil all over it, and I let it sit for a couple days because I could see like some ever so slightly speckling, but I expect that. So I had her coat it with that after her escapade with the damn hose. And when I seen that video, man, it just makes me cringe when she sets it down on the damn exposed aggregate fucking concrete. But anyways, it's good. It's going good. It didn't get chipped, no edge damage, no nothing. Still super sharp. Still great. Have you ever experienced a Bob Dozier knife? I know he almost exclusively uses D2. I've heard good things about their heat treat. I don't think I have. If I have, I can't think of the exact knife. So this is the thing with D2 is that if like anybody who's doing it at home is probably going to do a really good job with it because D2 is easy to heat treat. It's just not good for large mass production batches. So while if you're a single person doing say 5 or 10 blades at a time or whatever, however your small oven is, but you're doing small batches, more controlled and easier for you to do. Um, or it's going to be easier for you to do as far as steels go. So it's supposed to be. I'm not a heat treater, but it's supposed to be an easy steel to heat treat. However, when you get it in, it's finicky with the temperature. So in a controlled setting where you have a small oven and you're only doing 1 or 2 or however many at a time, it's easy to make sure your temperatures in a controlled. But when you start getting to mass production ovens, there's no way for their ovens to heat treat, how I don't even know how many they do at a time, but hundreds of blades at a time consistently. And that's where D2 falls off. But when it's done by, custom knife makers and stuff, it's great. Or, people that do in-house heat treats and stuff. Yeah, definitely go and check out Blades and Fades. And if you need some knives sharpened, he's also another great one to contact as well. I always shout him out, him and Mike Emler. Just got my first Kubi, the KU324, and it's awesome. Thanks for letting us know about the Kubi. Yeah, Kubi does a fantastic job, and their premium knives are really good too. But their $50 and under knives are just, they're kicking ass. Their detents are so consistent and so good. I have felt a couple that were inconsistent, but 90% of them have been on point. Hey, Mr. Designs in the house. What's up, man? Long time no see. What's up, peeps? He's got a couple new designs out that look pretty badass that I seen. Haven't tried, but did see, and they look pretty amazing. He's definitely kicking ass. When I was on that, I was on a podcast and somebody asked me like, who are some designers to really watch out for and pay attention to? I think that was the question. It was something like that. And I said, Mr. I was for a few months, but I've spent a lot since. So I have to cut back on knife purchases. Yeah, that happens. You got to cut back sometimes. Save up your money, save up your Benjamins, or possibly slaying off some old stuff to recoup some Benjamins to ensure you can continue purchasing knives. You got to keep the addiction alive. Fuck. I know your channel is knives based, but do you review axes like the CRKT stuff or others? I did a hatchet the other day. I'm it's not just knives. Like I do anything everyday carry related. And yes, I would 100% test and review anything camping, anything outdoors related. I haven't, besides fixed blades. I've done fixed blades, but yeah, I would. Yeah, for sure. I would. I just recently did that folding hatchet, which is pretty crazy. That thing's, it's, I mean, it's not like what you're talking about, but still cool. What's up? That's what she said. Thoughts on plastic knives? Well, I don't know about those, but I know about G10 knives. It's a G10 blade. Anyways, the plastic knives or G10 knives or whatever the fuck you're talking about from Cold Steel, that is that's for self-defense and getting through metal detectors and stuff. Those are tools to so that you can stay armed in areas you're not supposed to be armed in. Not saying I advocate for that. I'm just saying that that's what it's for. Okay, I totally get it. If you ever want one, I got one. Give you a good price if you change your mind. I have no idea what you're talking about, Jay. No idea. That we hyphen might be my next big purchase, but I'll have to wait a few months. There's a couple Wii's that I really, really want to get. One of which has been out for a little while, but every time I see it, man, it calls my name. And I feel kind of, how can I put this? I feel like I'm kind of letting myself down with a few knife purchases because there's been some knives that like I really, really want to buy. Like it's like this is my grail, right? It's my fucking grail, and I have an opportunity to buy it. And I don't pull the trigger because it's so expensive, you know. Like when you're starting to get up into $800-900, $700, it's like fuck, man. I don't know if I could spend that. And then even if you have the money, it's like I could put that into something else for the channel, and I am constantly thinking about like, because then if I get that, it's not like I can link it. It's not like I can show it to you guys because yeah, I can show it to you, but it would just be for bragging purposes. It's not like I could show it to you and recommend it to you because you can't buy one, right? And if you did buy one, it's on the secondary. It's not like in, mass production or anything. So I wind up not doing that. I wind up saying, no, I'm going to spend my money on something that is better for my channel, something that's better for the community, right? But then every time I see it, I think about it like, man, I wish I would have got that. Jared, have you ever checked out Varga knives? No. But, well, yes. One, I do have, I did do the pre-order for his knives though. I'm thinking right? Oh shit. Damn it. Yeah, I pre-ordered. Here, I'll show everybody what we're talking about really quick. So I pre-ordered. Why won't it let me? It doesn't have the thing for me to show you guys. That's weird. I'm sorry, I can't show you guys. I don't know why it doesn't. Okay, here we go. They moved it. Okay, so here it is. So this is a Varga knives. I did pre-order one of these. These are badass. And yes, I did get to try one and I absolutely loved it. I got in on the pre-order with the new version. I think I got this version, but with it has a thumb stud. So it's thumb stud and flipper instead of just flipper. Oh man, I love the look of this knife. This knife is so damn sexy to me. This is my style of knife. That just looks like my knife. Like when people design knives like this, like it kind of upsets me because I feel like they designed my knife. It's supposed to be my design. But no, yeah, I did get to try one and now I have one, well, coming soon. Steve, I got Best Tech working on an updated Zero. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You're killing me, Smalls. I would, but I'm too impatient to wait. Yeah, I'm usually that way too. I usually would rather just wait to see if there's any, because usually when the order drops, what winds up happening is the people that did pre-order, at least 5 to 10 people have to sell it because it's like they're like, yeah, I got it, but I can't keep it. Like, you know, or they're disappointed in some way, shape, or form because their expectations were here and it winds up being here. So then they sell it, or they just need the money. You know, they need baby formula and shit like that. And so they just sell it right away. And usually I'll try to swoop in on that. Got a pre-order open now, Jared. I got to send you a proto. You're too kind, dude. Yeah, I'd love it, man. I'd love to get the prototype on here. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I seen the way they look, and I already know, you know, they look like some great designs. KAVISO and QSP Penguin titanium frame lock with S35 VN fat carbon green matter thoughts. I don't think I've seen that one. But I will say this though, man, I am freaking loving the Plus. The Penguin Plus, best one yet. And they've made a lot of these. So that, you know, that says a lot. You know, it's the perfect size. It's such a perfect size. Even like as a large knife. Like look at this. It's not like it's large in my, you know, like this large. It's perfect size large. Stupid smooth. Fantastic detent. Good access to the lock bar. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I also really like the one from Traditional Pocket Knives, the jig bone pattern one. This is a really good one too. Super thin though. This one's nice and slim. When you get it in hand, you can't help but acknowledge that it's slimmer than the other ones. The mini is a chunker. This one, this guy's a little chunker. It's the same thickness as the original one, but it's all just, you know, shrunken down. Kara loves it. Oh shit. I should have mentioned this. I only bought a tie 20.5 for my transparent reblade. Good for you on getting the reblade, man. That hell yeah. That's not everybody's gonna be able to do that. So good for you. I will say this. I don't know if there's any more available, and honestly, probably not. But you guys can check. Original Goat dropped some linerless 20.5 titanium scales today, but they only had about 20 sets. So if I don't know if there's any left, go check it out. Use my discount code, 15% off. Get yourself a deal on it. I haven't bought a knife in over a year. What? Team Metal, are you even part of this community, man? Come on, man. Come on. Why everyone gotta have a pre-order at the same time. That's what I'm saying. That's the part that sucks, and that's what happened this year, was that, like, I don't know how many, 15 people it seemed like had pre-orders coming out back to back to back. Which really hurt some of the other people because theirs were coming out like 2 months later, or starting, I should say. And it's like, well, 5 of them just passed, so people already got involved in 5 other pre-orders, and now this one comes up, and it winds up being better than the rest of them. And it's like, damn it, how can I pay for this? That's why, yeah, pre-order knives, man. I I understand why people have to do them. I get it. I completely understand, and I don't blame them. That's really cool. Whatever, blah blah blah. But it sucks at the same time because you have to wait, and they wind up popping up at the same time with other badass knives, and you can't help but think like, man, I could just spend the same amount of money and get my knife now. But they're usually so badass they're worth the wait. So hey, Mike Emler, what's up, brother? No, I got past them. Shout out to Mike Emler. Definitely go and check his channel out. And sympathy goes out to you, brother. I know you had to put down your dog. I know that sucks, man. Uh, I'm a absolute dog lover. So as you guys know, I trained dogs for years, and did like animal and dog psychology for a long time. So like I'm very passionate about dogs and animals, period. And yeah, it sucks when you have a dog that's a good dog and you got to put them down and they've been in your family for a long time. It's like losing a family member. There's my damn boink with the 2 bones. Thank you, man. Was waiting. You're late. I'll just say that. It's all I'm gonna say. It's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say any more about it, but it is 8:21. Mike Emler with the 2 bones. No live tonight. I get it, man. I get it. Take it easy, man. Hang out with the family. Something I learned with chasing knives is 50% of the enjoyment is in the hunt. Yeah, no, for sure. I love the hunt too. I think we all love the hunt. Obviously we all love getting that damn package in the mail. But the hunt is great too, finding that and especially when you wind up getting it, when you're hunting, and then you find the thing that you're looking for. Because there's usually something specific you're looking for, right? Like say this. Like, I'm looking for a spear point blade with a bolster lock and brown micarta with a deep hollow grind with a hole for deployment that also has good access to the lock bar and a titanium mill pocket clip, not a wire clip or not this. And then all of a sudden, bam, you see it. And you're like, I fucking found it. I found it. And you're trying to get it as fast as you can. Then you find out they're fucking not out yet. And they're not going to be out for 3 months or something. And then you wait, and you finally get it. And it's either good or bad, right? And when it's good, you're like, yes, fucking good. And you're so happy about it. You're so excited. But then sometimes you open it up and you're like, wah, wah. And you're like, oh, why does it, why? And you start thinking like, why? How couldn't they see this before they sent it out the door? How couldn't they see that you can't unlock this fucking thing without breaking your nail trying to wedge it in to the damn liner or whatever? Or how couldn't they see that this flipper tab needed jimping? It's slick as shit. And it has deathlock, or something. And it winds up just ruining it for you. And then you think like all they had to do was this one thing, this one little thing. But no. So then you're back in the chase again. But every once in a while, you get one of them gems that just do it for you. Like something like this, man. Under $100. This is like $95. $95. And it's done better than some $500 knives I've tried. Seriously. It's so good. And it's been so consistent. It's only gotten better and better and better. You can lefty flick it. I was surprised to see that Tucson did a lefty version on this one. The 194 with a milled clip. Super surprised on that one. You don't see too many of dams. What's up, 101? Jared and everyone. Hope everyone is having a great night. I hope you're having a great night. Hey, Jared, have you tried the 3V80 20.5? How's the seal? No, wait. I might have sharpened one, but I didn't test any of them. I only tested the OS 10, which did absolute dog shit. The one I tested, the couple I tested. I'm sure they're better now, but the first batches were garbage. But I don't know. I don't know about the 3V. I'm sure it's better than the OS, or hopefully it's better than the OS 10. And here I thought November would be a good time to launch a pre-order. Then I think everybody thinks the same thing. For some reason, I think that, and I also know that some of the companies, it just works out that way because you're obviously dealing with certain OEMs. Well, they're dealing with the people. So it's like they'll be like, okay, well, we can fill this for this date and then the next date. And so they have it set up back to back too. So it's not entire, it's not just the person's fault that's ordering it. It's the company because they obviously can't do them all at once. So they have to do them back to back. And a lot of times you might, because you're last in line or sixth in line, and now you have to wait because you're sixth in line. So that means you have 6 other people doing pre-orders in front of you. And also just sometimes a lot of people do them at the same time. And it seems like in 2022, the designers were coming out of the woodwork. Like, seems like everybody wanted to design a knife. Everybody designed a knife. It's like, fuck, man. Which is cool. I'm not talking shit. More the merrier. But it's going to hurt some people that are doing it for the first time because nobody trusts you. Nobody trusts you. And you can't blame them. You're stepping into an industry with knife designers and makers that have been doing it for years and have a reputation. And then a lot of times they think that they can charge the same thing as like a Ray Laconico or something like that. And it's like, bro, you haven't even put in your legwork yet. You can't do that. Like, come into it, design great knives at a price of which the people will respect. Let them learn your designs and know you're a good designer. Then later on, then you can start getting known designer money. Yes, thank you, Kyle. Yes, here is the link. And the discount code is Neeves. You can use that link, and then if you want to get anything from Original Goat, so anything on their site, you can say 15% off with my discount code. They do such a good job, man. Here, I got a knife right here. This is for the Deca. Oh, I love it. This completely changes the knife for me. I love this knife now. Like before, it was good, but I just despised the FRN. This takes it to another level, and now it feels like a fucking tool, and I love that. Thanks, Richard. Okay, sorry, that's not for me. It's not for me. Anyone get on the Oz Rosie lottery tonight? Oh man, I would love to get one of those, but I did not get on the lottery. Hey, Jared, I train dogs for a living. Nice. Have you ever done any decoy work? I've done so what oh shit, man, I'm like really far back. So what I used to do was I went to school for dog psychology, and then what I did was I did personal dog training, like private personal dog training, where I came in where dogs had issues and problems in many cases. I mean, I did everything. I did puppies, I did, even that, but I did a lot of work with the people. So I would train the people on how to teach your dog, because I could come in and I could take any dog and teach them tricks right away, like tricks, commands, and have them doing exactly what you want them to do in 10 minutes, like right away, literally. Like, you can train a dog very fast if you know what you're doing. So like, I say a dog that when you come in has no idea what sit, heel, or stay mean. Well, within a few minutes, I can teach him those things. But once I leave, he's going to go right back to his same behaviors. So I would have to teach the people how to continue the process and how to continue keeping their dog in line. But I taught dogs to do just about everything. I've trained guard work. I've trained, you know, for what's it called? I can't even think of what it's called. For like handicapped people and stuff. My dad was a paraplegic, so I wanted to do that. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I've trained just about everything from puppies to old dogs. I've trained them for hunting. I've trained them for just about everything. Now, I I wasn't in the best area where I was doing it at, and it's one of the reasons why I got out, because the area I was in, even though a lot of people had dogs, most of my work was trying to bring me to a far location. And it even though I had a lot of work and everything, it wasn't like you'd want. Like it was a lot of people that weren't as good with dogs, and which is, what you're going to get because you're trying to teach them, but they're also people that aren't as passionate, and a lot of people like expect magic. They want you to just come in and then the dog's just perfect when you leave. It's like, that's not how it works. It's never how it works, right? Because like I said, I'll leave and your dog's going to go right back to the same behaviors he was doing right away, because your body language and what you're telling the dog to do is to do these bad behaviors. The only reason why the dog is doing the bad behaviors is because you tell them to. Like, that's one thing that people don't realize. Anytime your dog is doing bad behaviors, it's because you are telling it to do those behaviors. He is a dog, so he's going to do dog behaviors. And the behaviors of which he thinks he's supposed to do is what he's going to do. Whatever he gets, and you might think like, oh, well, he knows he's doing bad because of this reason. No, 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 no. That's not how it works. Like, I've heard this so many times. Like, I've gotten into so much with it. Like, say a dog does something in the house, right? And you walk up and you see it, and then you look at your dog, and your dog tucks his tail and gets scared. That dog doesn't know he did something wrong. That dog knows you're mad. That's it. He knows you're upset. He can smell it on you. The second you walked in, the second you seen whatever it was, he smelt your everything change. He can tell, he can feel, he can see it in your eyes. You gotta understand, dogs speak body language. So we speak with our mouths, right? But we also speak with our hands and with our facial features, right? Dogs speak with all body language, all. So they understand body language so well. It's kind of like, have you ever walked around a corner or walked up to your dog and been like past 20 feet, because a dog's vision is between 20 and it's about 20 feet to be able to see a face. So past 20 feet, most dogs can't see a face very clearly. So if you stop and you freeze, he won't know who you are. As long as he can't smell you, he will have no. And that's when they'll growl at you and they'll look at you like, who the fuck is that? And you'll see him growl at you and you're just standing there and not moving. It's because you're not moving. The second you start moving, he knows exactly who you are. He can tell exactly who you are. And that's how they tell the differences between the people they know. It's how they walk, how their hands move, how their facial expression is. They look at all those things and they say, oh, that's Jared, or oh, that's Uncle Bob, right? Well, same thing with other communications. Whether you're upset, you're happy, you're excited, all those things come out. And people tend to talk to dogs more so than use their body language. You want to use your body language the most. Now, I'm not saying don't communicate with your dog, but what I'm trying to say is that the communications should be simple and to the point and the exact same. When people teach dogs, like say, good boy, right? Good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy. That's 4 different good boys. They all meant something different. So when you say something, that's why clicker training works really good, because it's just click, click. And that means yes. That means good. Click, click. It's the same every time. So you tell a dog to sit, it sits, click, click. They get the treat. They know the click, click means you're going to get a treat, or it means they did right. So now you can communicate with your dog, because now he understands what you're saying. You're saying, you know, like if you tell him to sit pretty and he sits pretty, click, click. He hears the click, click. He knows I did it right. Now, if he starts doing something else and he doesn't hear the click, he's going to start going through the behaviors till he figures out what to do. And then when he hears the click, click, okay, now I know what to do. And he'll continue doing those things. But being able to communicate with your dog effectively and efficiently is so important. And people knew how intelligent their dogs could be. If they knew for a second how intelligent their dogs could be. I hate when I hear people say that dog's stupid, because there is no such thing. Of all my years with dogs, I've met one dog that actually had brain damage and actually was dumb, and it wasn't his fault. He got hit 3 times in one sitting by cars, and it messed his head up. Other than that one dog, all other dogs that I've met were hyper intelligent and were just taught wrong. Every single one of them had poor people training them, or just people that just didn't know any better. They just don't know. And I understand that, because I used to be that person too. Before, you know, I learned how to train dogs, I did the exact things that everybody does wrong. So I know what your mind is thinking when you're teaching a dog. And it's usually because you think of teaching a person, not a dog. A dog thinks like a dog. You have to train a dog like a dog. And it's good. A good way to think about it is, think of it as like an alien, right? A dog is like an alien. How would you tell an alien something if you can't speak to it, right? People tend to try to talk to dogs as if they understand them, as if they keep saying the same word. Now, yes, over time, a dog can understand language, but like I said, you got to keep it simple, keep it the same, right? The same. If you're going to do a good boy, make sure the good boy is the exact same every time. Do an excited, good boy, you know, with a good pet, you know, get excited. Don't change it up, because that way, if he does wrong, you can give him a growl. Ah, that works really good. Ah. And the reason why works good is because it's the one sound that all dogs know from puppyhood from their mother. When they would do something wrong, their mother would growl at them. So they instantly knew that means no. Means no. So if your dog's doing a behavior you don't like, give him a little growl. That's it. It's a bark. It's a growl. And it tells him no. And then if he does the behavior that you just told him not to do, and he stops, reward him, because he's doing what you asked. It's kind of like this. Dog puts his nose towards a garbage, and you say, leave it, right? And he takes his nose away. Right then, you should praise him. He did what you said. But most people won't do that. They'll say, leave it. And the dog will move away. And then 2 seconds later, he's going back for it. Because he didn't, like, when he did what you said, you didn't even tell him he did right. He did right by taking his nose away. But, you know, that yes and no is so important and so vital to communication with the dog. Being able to tell a dog, yes, you're doing this right. No, you're doing this wrong. A reward system, and they work best off of reward systems, but they also have to understand how the reward system works. If they don't understand the rules of the game, they're not going to want to play. And if you get mad at them when they're trying to play, they will refuse to play. And just like you would too. If I told you to play a game that I'm going to get mad at you about, if you don't know the rules, or if you can't learn the rules, you wouldn't want to play either. So you want to make sure it's a game that's fun, exciting. You get to learn, you get treats, and the dog will be out down for it, and you'll have a lot better time training them. T. Murray with the 5 bones. Some bones. Thank you, man. I appreciate the 5 bones. Do you have any discount codes for KAVISO? I do not have a discount code for KAVISO. Nope, I do not. I just have an affiliate link. If you use my link, it helps the channel. But other than that, no, I don't have anything. I'm sorry, bud. Um, World World Tree, same here, but maybe he's talking to somebody. World Tree on the fence about that one. Okay, he's talking to somebody else. Brandon says, I remember seeing the Kangles with spiked collars on when Dad visited turkeys. They can mess you up if you go in their pastures. My old Pitbull loves everyone except anyone delivering packages. I lost my screen. My screen door 7 times before I replaced the screen with Lexan. Yeah. You want to teach your dog not to do that. Get your dog not to do that. So you want to turn it into, and I don't know if you're even willing to do it. Sometimes I don't know if I should even explain how to do it because, you know, it does take some effort for you to teach your dog, but you got to teach your dog that you don't like that behavior. Usually, I'm just going to make it very simple for people to understand, because the thing is, you got to understand from the perspective of a dog. Mailman comes up. The dog barks. He's doing his job, protecting the house, right? It's the dog's fucking duty to protect that house. He sees a threat. He barks. The threat goes away. Next day, threat comes back. He barks. Threat goes away. Next day, threat comes back. He barks. He starts seeing a pattern saying, good thing I was here. I fucking saved the day. That's what the dog's thinking. I fucking saved the day. Now, you fuckers wouldn't even be here right now if it wasn't for me. Fucking mailman's coming up trying to take us out. And luckily I'm here every day at noon when he shows up to fucking get his ass out of here, right? That's the way they're thinking. They're doing their job, right? So he's protecting you and doing his job good. Now, what he needs to understand is that that's not his duty for that one. So he needs to know that the mailman will come and leave regardless if he barks. Most dogs don't know that. Most dogs do not know that that mailman will leave if he's quiet. So if you can get your dog to be quiet and not go crazy and sit there comfortably relaxed while the mailman comes up, delivers the mail, and goes away, he'll see that, and he'll see that pattern and see, oh, this guy wasn't a threat. That doesn't mean your dog's not going to protect under other circumstances. It just means he's going to get used to the pattern of the mailman not being a threat. So you get him to be quiet. That's the thing. Get him to be quiet, get him a treat, get him to sit there with you while the mailman comes up, give him treats, make sure he doesn't bark or growl, try to keep him nice and calm. If he starts going off, you lost it. Try again next time, right? Don't get mad. The whole point is just to keep his attention, keep him relaxed, tell him no. If he starts to growl, no. And keep him calm. Say, be easy, you know, just talk very calmly. And if he sits there calmly without nothing happening and he sees that person leave, you'll have a 10 times better chance of tomorrow going well. But you have to do it every day. You have to do it every day until he gets good at it. Oh, wait, I already read this one. You guys got a free bell. No, you didn't. Antimatter with the 10 bones. Shout out to OG Go Customer Service. Yeah, their customer service is great. I didn't apply your discount code during checkout and emailed them to apply Neevesknives on my order, and they refunded the discount. They're doing it right. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Damn right. That's what's up, man. Yeah, no, they're awesome, man. They're so good. They are damn good. And good thing you thought of that, because that saves you a lot of money. It really does. I mean, I don't know what you bought, but you know, when you start talking about, you know, spending, if it's $150, right? What are you going to save? You're going to save like 15, 20, like 22, 23 bucks. I'll keep that money. It's an Uber ride. Chuck says, I'll say this, Jason Grant, Brass Brigade, is a stand-up guy. Yes, he is. I had a problem with my gripper. Without hesitation, he tells me to mail it to him and that he would fix or replace it for free of charge. You know, he's a good dude for sure. That's what she says. Says the way you understand does, right? Jared, the way you understand does. You make a great father. Sorry, I had to say it. Thank you. Plenty of adults can't even grasp this psychology stuff, even though it's common sense for others. Yeah, and I understand not understanding it because I was there. Okay, so and this is sad to say. Like I've abused dogs 100%. Like and because I was taught to. So when I was younger, I had a fucking piece of shit abusive stepfather that tried to teach me how to teach a dog, how to train a dog. And we had a couple dogs. And in my heart, I knew this is not the way. I knew like this is wrong. I felt it, right? But I was young, you know, and I was being taught, and I was taught everything was the exact opposite of what you do. Noticing nothing ever worked, right? Until I learned. And then once I learned, I realized, oh, that's why that doesn't work, right? It's like, you know, you wind up finding out like, oh, you do this, not this, right? And then you actually see it work because it's about the behaviors you do too. Like two people can do the exact same thing, and one, the dog will respond like that. And another person will do the exact same thing and the dog won't respond at all. And what it is the body language. It's all it's about. The body language. How you walk, how you talk, how your voice is, how your shoulders are back, how you lead, how you go through a door, how you stop them. You know, like you got to be an alpha. You got to act like an alpha because if you act like a beta, they're going to treat you like one. But the point is that they want to, they're bred or they're made, they're designed to follow a pack. They're designed to follow an alpha. You have to be that alpha. If you're that alpha, they'll follow you forever and they'll do anything you say on command without a doubt. You should never worry about your dog. A well-trained dog, you never worry about them running off. You never worry about them doing anything bad. Right? You can walk into anywhere with them and they will listen to every direction you give them to a T without hesitation. And you so then it becomes enjoying for you to take them places. You can go anywhere with them and you're happy to bring them anywhere because you know they're not going to misbehave. You know they're going to be good. You know no matter what, they're going to, you know, do whatever you say. If you tell him to go chase a squirrel and he chases a squirrel, you tell him to stop, he's going to stop right then. Turn around and come right back. You have no doubt in your mind. You have no doubt in your mind that if your dog is running off, messing around, like say if you're somewhere and you call him, he's coming no matter what. And when you get that confidence, what's up, baby? Can you go for a walk after? Okay. It's like summer outside. All right, that's fine. But yeah, but I definitely did bad behaviors with dogs when I was younger, but once I learned, I understood, and then training dogs was so easy. I can train a dog to do anything. There's nothing I can't teach a dog to do. Like you guys would go crazy if you've seen some of the things I've trained dogs to do. Like my old dog, Gira, she could open doors, shut doors, wipe her own paws, flush toilets, play dead. She knew, like, I don't know. At one point I counted, but then I stopped counting, but she knew like 100 commands, you know, even from like left, right, back, forth, everything. I had another dog that I've trained lots of dogs, but this like when you start talking about intelligent breeds like healers and, you know, border collies and dogs that are working breeds, especially herding breeds, poodles, they are so intelligent and they pick things up so fast, and they're on another level compared to like a lot of dogs would be considered a medium category of intelligence, like a mid-range of intelligence. Then there's the highly intelligent dogs that are hyper energetic. And the thing is though is that when they're bad, when they're not trained, they are the worst dogs. But the worst dogs in the world are technically the best dogs. They're just not trained. Kind of like people, you know. Hey Jared, have you seen this company's button lock called? No, I haven't. I don't. know what that is. It sounds like that company that I tried that had it was almost like a Civivi Elementum. Sounds like the same company because they're started with a Q too. Jay, have you seen this? Oh, that's someone. Yeah, I think it's the same company that I tried that they had like a knockoff of the Elementum. Things just warming up here, Leo. Basically, Jared's talking K9s and not K390. We can talk K390. I have a red healer. Oh, nice. And he is the smartest and most loyal dog I've ever been around. Right. Healers are hyper intelligent dogs. The smartest dog I ever trained was a healer. Hands down. That dog was just, it was crazy how fast I could teach it. I could literally teach that dog. Like in the end, the dog knew so many commands. It was like, it didn't even make sense. But in the process of training him, I was able to teach it like 5-10 tricks a day, 5-10 commands a day. And it would stick with it. The dog was so smart that I could get it to go get me tools, like because I was doing construction. So I'd be like digging a trench. The dog would not only help me dig the trench, but when I told it to go get me my shovel, he would go get my shovel. And they're not big dogs. So it'd come back trying to drag this big ass thing and would never give up. Like it was crazy the levels of which this dog would go to help you. It was a working dog. I told the story with it when like I was cutting out a tree one time and the tree branches were so big. Like I told the dog to stop, like leave it alone. But the dog had a tenacity to him to help. Like if he seen you struggling, he was gonna help you. And he seen me pulling this branch, this big ass tree branch across the yard, and he came and started helping me, grabbing it. And he can't move it for shit because he's not strong enough. But he's trying and fighting his ass off. And then I stopped. Right. So now I'm not pulling it. That dog sat there for like 30 minutes trying to pull it farther, like bleeding from the gums, trying to pull it because, you know, to finish the job. I could get it to literally dig trenches for me, get tools, do backflips. I could shoot it and it would play dead. And it would even do the recoil of being shot. Like if I went bang, you know, he'd like flinch like he got shot. Crazy intelligent, man. Hyper intelligent. And those dogs were healers specifically. You know, they're made to have big bark, little bite because they're herding dogs. So you don't want a herding dog to be able to hurt the cattle, right? You want them to have a big bark, an aggressive bark, but you don't want their bite to be very powerful. So their bites are very aggressive, meaning like they sound aggressive and they look aggressive. And they'll get like the most angriest, loudest sounds, and they sound like a Tasmanian devil, like they'll go crazy. But the bite's not that bad, and that's good because they're really good at getting cattle to do what they want without hurting them. They're such spectacular dogs. They're amazing dogs. But you have that they are a dog though that you should know what you're doing. Because the same dog will be the worst dog you've ever had in your life if you don't know what you're doing. They need a lot of stuff to do. They're a working dog. Like that's a dog that you need to do stuff with. It's not a dog that sits around the house. That's a dog that goes out with you. It goes everywhere with you. Whatever you're doing, it's coming with. And you should treat it like that. And if you did, the dog will go anywhere with you and it'll always follow you. It'll never leave your side. And it'll protect you to the day it dies. They are very good guard dogs too. Two spoiled ass Frenchies over here. I love Frenchies. They are super smart though. It's funny how the response to me and not my wife. Yeah. She says their personalities change as soon as I come in the house. That's true though. That's true. Alpha shows up. When the alpha shows up, everything changes. But dogs, they look for that. They want that. They want to have restrictions and guidelines and structure. They need it. They want it. A dog will be so much happier having structure, rules, and decisions made for him. And a wolf, right? For an example, a wolf in a pack. Wolves don't get to just lay wherever they want or sit wherever they want. No, they sit and are allowed to lay where the alpha allows them to, right? Well, it should be the same way in your house. Like there's certain things that happen that the alpha does first and that the alpha allows or doesn't allow. And and that's, it's just nature, it's normal to them. So they need that structure with humans too. But most people just, they don't understand dog psychology and how a dog sees the world. It's little things like walking through a door. Your dog should not walk through a door without your command or you going first, right? And if he's supposed to, right? If you want to send your dog out, that's okay, but the dog should not cross that line unless if you say okay, because that's disrespectful. That's not being an alpha, because an alpha wouldn't allow that. You're in charge. You decide who goes in and out of the door and who goes through the door. That also makes it to where you get to decide who comes in, and then the dog is not allowed to be aggressive to them unless if you tell them to. Sex. Only an alpha has sex. The other pack members are not allowed to have sex. Alpha eats first. Pack members eat second. Just behaviors like that. I have a girl pet, and that's the opposite of the stereotype. She will kill you with licks, though. Yeah, I've trained the most dogs I've trained. I've trained more pit bulls than anything. I love pits. Pits are like the best dogs in the world. They are so good. They're such good dogs. They I think it's in Britain, or I think it's in Britain. They're called the nanny dog. But they just have a zest for life. The thing is though is that they're able to be great fighting dogs, which people take advantage of, and they're good at it. So it winds up being bad for them in the end because they're so good at it. But they're also good at everything else. Like they're really good work dogs, they're really good lap dogs, like they're good companions, they're good children dogs. Like I trust a pit bull with children more than just about any other dog. Maybe like mastiffs and stuff I might trust a little bit more, but the reason why is because a pit bull's hide is so strong that children could sit there and pinch it and pick it and and twist it and shit like that, and the dog will just sit there and sleep through it. They don't even feel it. They don't care. But other dogs, like somebody will like barely step on their paw and the dog will nip, out of fear. Pit bulls usually ain't like that. Not saying they can't be, but I'm saying, but a well-trained one, a well-developed one is really good with children, or should be. Scotty with the 2 bones going into work early and nice to hang out for a bit. Thank you, Scotty. I appreciate the donation, man. Have fun at work. Hopefully you have a good night at work. There's some toddlers out there who disagree with you, Jared. I don't care. Just because things have happened, I could say that you say the same thing about chihuahuas, right? You know how many chihuahuas have bitten children? I bet you more children have been bitten by chihuahuas. They're just not reported because they don't hurt the child as bad as like a pit bull. But the behavior is still the same. And the problems that have happened with pit bulls in children have always been from people. It's the people, not the dog. The dog was brought up, trained, and abused until it got to a certain point. Any dogs like that. German Shepherds are the same way. I've seen a lot of bad pit bulls because I grew up in an area where people fought them. And I've known a lot of people that fought them. I've known a lot of fighting pit bulls, and I've seen a lot of crazy shit with pit bulls. So I get the level of which they can be bad, but every single time it was always the people, never the dog. I've rescued dogs off the street that have been shot and pulled the bullets out of their ass and saved them. I got a pit bull one time that they used as bait. Destroy the dog had scars all over its whole fucking body. They used it as bait, then took it and threw it in a cage and threw it in the woods. My dad found it, brought him to me, and luckily I was able to save it. Completely emaciated. It had been eating its own feces for probably 3 or 4 days. I had to slowly introduce water and food to it so it didn't go through shock. But in the end, super healthy, super, like, just the friendliest dog to children, friendliest dog to, even though it had been tortured by people and abused, it didn't hold that grudge. It didn't hold that. Like other dogs, it was fine with. It took a little bit of training in getting it to understand that it's not about to get killed by these dogs. But once it understood, I'm not in defensive mode, everybody loved that dog. Dog was amazing. And I've gotten tons of examples like that. So it's always the people. It's always the people. Dogs are just dogs. But when you start fighting them and getting them to do things that that create bad behaviors, then that's when it leads to that. But like I said, same thing goes for German Shepherds or any other type of dog. Same thing. Rottweilers, boxers, other type of dogs. Same thing. Just that one's the best at it. So it's the most likely for people to do it with, right? Because people fight pit bulls more than they do Rottweilers or German Shepherds or anything else, because they're the best ones to do it. So it's the people that are taking advantage of the fact that a pit bull is so good at fighting. German Shepherds are awesome. You've always wanted a blue tick coonhound. Yeah, I love all dogs, man. I love them all. I think the one that I would warn the most against, there's two breeds that dog trainers say that are the, it's not that they're super difficult to train, it's that they can't be trusted off leash. There's two breeds that can't be trusted off leash. One of them's a husky. And huskies, if you have the right environment for them, they're great. Most people do not. Most people try to bring them into their house or their regular yard and have no plans on running every day and doing activities that dog needs. And in trainers, we call them, they're the escape artist dog. That's their nickname. So huskies are escape artists. They will escape. Especially if you keep them in a backyard or a fenced in yard or something, they will escape. And when they escape, they're going to run. You're not going to catch them. Now, if you train them right and you do the right behaviors and you give them the right activities every day, all day, then yes, you can get them to come to your call. But that's one breed that you can't be guaranteed 100%. If got loose, wouldn't just run. Now, the next one is a beagle. And why? And beagles, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Beagles, it has to do with, because they were bred for us to follow them. Beagles were not bred for, like, they're bred hunting dogs. They're supposed to follow their nose. But originally, beagles, they came in 3 different sizes. They came in a very small, medium, and large. Now we don't have the very small anymore. The small ones were designed for, like, grandmas or ladies to put in their pockets. And the dog relied on the human to get them over, like, rivers and sticks and things like that, but was able to be used by a lady that didn't run fast, or, you know, an older lady, to be able to still hunt. But beagles were designed for us to follow them. They're not supposed to follow us. So that's why if you have a beagle, it's going to follow its nose and it's not going to be able to hear you. You can sit there and call it and they'll just keep on following, and the scent, their ears drag against the ground and it brings the scent up into their nose, and it's almost impossible for them to stop following that because they're designed to do that. They're designed to track and follow scent, and you're supposed to follow them. So, and that's why you'll, like, if you train them right, they have sounds and they make these sounds that where you can follow them and get to the thing that they're hunting. Are we doing knife talk, then dog talk now? New schedule. Yeah, I guess we went off on a tangent. It's 9:04. We can talk about knives. I know I guess I've told enough stories tonight. But yeah, I love talking dogs though, because I'm passionate about them. About 2 minutes ago, I was asked to review and rate a Neeves video. I did. And now I'm here. So hello, gone away. I appreciate you checking out one of my videos. That's awesome. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Yeah, I love dog talk too. Please continue. Oh, hell yeah. Jared, what wee knife was catching your eye, but no trigger pull? The it's been out for a little while, but the Synergy 3, the spear point version. I think they call it a drop point, but not the Persian one. They have the Persian one, and then they have the spear point one, and it's got a super deep hollow grind. It's an integral. The ergos look amazing. The blade looks amazing. It just looks like such a solid working knife. It's so expensive though, because it's an integral. Knife talk or dog talk, it doesn't matter when the person talking is passionate about it. It's usually entertaining. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Heard of way too many locals around here losing their dogs to gators. The big reptiles love dog meat. Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's gonna happen. I mean, in Florida and places like that, you know, especially small ones. I've seen a bunch of dogs taken by coyotes. That's what I've seen. Little dogs. Jared Native 5 M4 17 degree toothy or polish. What are your thoughts? M4, go toothy. Go toothy with M4. Yeah, toothy for sure. 17 degrees should be good on it. I would go 15. The native, you can go 15 with the native if you want to. His I think it's 20. Am I right about that? I think it's 18 or 20 thousandths behind the edge. I think. And I'm not positive about the native, but the PM2, the Para 3, and other similar Spydercos come with a 15-degree edge, just so you know, from the factory. They usually have a micro bevel, but still. I think from the factory, they do 15 degrees per side, 22-degree micro bevel. It's up to you if you want to add the micro bevel, but you don't have to. I went to the zoo yesterday. Hell yeah. And they only had one dog. It was a Shih Tzu. I like zoos, man. I love the zoos. I've told this story before, but I guess I'll tell it again. So there's this free zoo up in Racine, Wisconsin. And it's I think they're it's like $1 now, but it used to be free. And they have animals there, but it's sad, man. It's sad because they don't have money or anything like that, and it's sad. There's nobody there. And when I would go there, nobody would be there. Like, I literally wouldn't see a worker, nothing, nobody's there. And like I said, at the time, it was a free zoo. You could just walk in. And there was this giraffe. I love giraffes. And I would see them, and I wanted to jump in with them so bad. So I did. Because nobody was there. So I was like, fuck it, I'm taking my chances. Jumped in, fed him. He licked me, and then I got out of there. But I'd go there and I'd pump up the monkeys, get the monkeys all pumped up and pissed off. The way you do is you open your mouth at them. If you open your mouth at a monkey, they get pissed. They consider that like flipping them off. If you open your mouth, you go like that to a monkey, they will fucking go crazy. They hate it. It pisses them off. It's literally like them going like this to you, like you flipping them the bird. So I would do that to them. And I would do it just because, like, there's nobody there. Like, they're just sitting there, like I'd feel so bad because, like, the gorillas would just look at you like they're in prison. And I hated it. I fucking hated it. It'd kill me inside. Since that, I would feel that, like, I'd like, okay, well, let's get some enjoyment out of them, right? Let's give them some action. So I do that with the monkeys, and the monkeys would go crazy. I mean, nuts. Like, they're trying to attack me, even though they can't get to me. But it's hilarious. The gorillas, though, man, it was sad. I could never get them to even do anything. Like, they're so depleted. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to bring this to a sad place, but that's why I would go there, and I'd try to like entertain the animals because they liked it. and that's where I met my pet giraffe. Wonder if he's still there. One day I'm gonna go back and rescue him. I love the Columbus Zoo because Jack Hanna is hilarious, and Cincy Zoo has the cutest little bay hippos. Hippos are adorable when they're babies. Funny show. My uncle's friend would throw a pack of Hubba Bubba gum in the monkey exhibit and watch them fight over it. Funniest shit ever. I remember when I was a kid, one of my friends, we were like, it's hard to remember because I was so young, but we went on like a field trip at school, and one of my friends fell into the monkey cage. Um, yeah, he was all right, but I think he just, he got a little injured because it was like a pretty good fall, but I don't even know how he fell or anything. Don't jump in the gorilla pen. Exactly. Jared is making friends at the zoo. Facts. Absolutely. If I go to a zoo, you can pretty much guarantee I'm gonna make a friend. 100%. And it could be like the dumbest, like not dumb, like literally, but like the weirdest animal ever, like a duck or something. I there's this one. So Wisconsin Dells is obviously in Wisconsin. It's the Dells, but if you guys don't know, Wisconsin Dells, it's like a huge tourist area, massive tourist area. It has tons of stuff. People come from all over the country to go to the Dells. They have all kinds of like 5-star hotels with water parks, and then they have all kinds of different things from bungee jumping to everything you can imagine you can do in the Dells. And they had this zoo that was the coolest zoo I've ever been to in my life. It was so badass. Like you could go there, and if you went there at a certain time, you could actually go around and feed all the animals with the workers. All the workers are foreign and they don't really care. So they barely speak English, and they don't really care. So like you can get away with whatever there. And you can even talk them into like letting you pet the animals and get in there with the animals. And I had them driving me around with the golf cart, feeding all the animals, playing with little baby lions and stuff. I even met a monkey that gave me his baby, or gave me her baby, which I thought was so crazy that this baby or this monkey gave me her baby. It was so adorable. I gave it back, obviously, and then she gave me a kiss, of course. But yeah, good times, really good times. Oh yeah, I met a kangaroo. I even have a picture of it somewhere. And the kangaroo was just loose. Like it was in the shop when I walked in. I walked like when you're first walking in. I'm walking in, and there's a kangaroo just. I'm like, I gotta get a picture with that. So I started playing with this kangaroo. It was a young one, so it was fine, like a Joey or whatever. I tried to take my dog swimming, but he just floats there. He's a good boy, though. Jared has multiple I have many monkey stories. Lots of monkey stories. Gotta love the monkeys. Hot take. Haram did the right thing. Kid was in the wrong. I don't know what that means. Wisconsin Dells. Why isn't the Wisconsin? I don't know what that means. Why isn't it the Wisconsin Compacts or Wisconsin HPs? I'm trying to understand what the joke is there, but it's called the Dells because oh man, I can't remember why. But they have like do you know why Wisconsin Dells is called the Dells?
They probably made Dell computers there.
Shut the fuck up.
That's probably
That's
why.
not why. It's not why. I think it's got something to do with the ducks. Zeroaster saying I have a Alex. Hey, Alex. Do you know anything about Williams knives? I know that they're expensive.
I think they're made by a guy named William, right?
Yeah. Yep. I think you're right about that, actually.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I knew who they are.
Pretty sure you're right about that.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they're pretty expensive too. When I was in the Marines in the Philippines.
For a reason, just
okay, what's up? What's up? You gonna say it?
Can anyone guess what this sound is? That's what that is. Don't be gross.
Don't be gross. Yeah.
Gross.
When I was in the Marines in the Philippines, they had a big red ass baboons, and we had to walk by them all the time. Forward, no smile, no teeth. They will take it as active aggression. Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, baboons are like that. There's certain ones that you want to be careful around. But anyways, what do you guys think it is? We got him.
No.
Basically.
No.
Basically.
Guys.
Basically.
This warms my heart to introduce you to.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Her name is Crinkle Tail because she's got a crinkled tail, which you will not see in the video, but you will see this. Her eating a banana. Look at her eat that banana.
She's feeding the possums outside.
Bananas are good for them when they've had a lot of protein. Need some sugar.
You see the bucket there? She got a bucket there filled with food.
Got bugs in it.
And bananas.
Look at how dark her elbow is.
Yeah, she got them bows.
But yeah, she's got
Steve's in the house.
big old crinkle tail.
I knew it was gonna be something.
Damn. Oh.
Thanks,
Crinkle
Steve.
tail is still eating.
Oh, I knew it. That was like, you can't blame him. That was a good one. Thank you, Steve.
Somebody named James K has continuously called me Cup ever since that live. You know that?
Jared on a hot night. Nice.
Oh boy, another bus. I actually have 4.
Yeah. And a skunk.
Yeah, I have 4 possums. There's Itty and Bitty, who I can tell apart. Old Crinkletail, Kebab. And I've got and Longtail.
Yeah, Longtail.
Longtail. Longtail is my new one. His tail is longer than his body.
I got Alex's. Was there another one?
I may have interrupted you in the middle of it.
No. This is look. Hold on. No. Scotty said he was going to work early. No, I don't think I missed one. I don't see any other ones besides those. So I'm sorry if I did. I don't see it. It didn't pop up. Ostrich bit the shit out of my thumb when I was around 8 years old at a zoo. Drew blood. My dad thumped his head. Itty bitty were my ex's chest. We played with, what was those big birds that were like ostriches that we played with the other
Rheas?
Were they Rheas?
Yeah, they're a type of ragtite.
We were playing with some we were feeding them too.
Pop quiz.
They're pretty nippy.
Pop quiz.
Okay, pop quiz.
How many ragtites are there? How many breed of ragtite are there?
7.
No.
Was it close?
No. Well, I mean, you weren't like way far off.
Love this knife. Well, how many? Just
count.
say it. How many?
I have to count.
Oh, you don't even know.
I think it's 4. I have to say them out loud.
Liar.
Rhea. Stop it. Rhea, emu, ostrich. The one with the damn thing on its head that's endangered.
Doing the damn.
The one
deal.
with the cask on its head.
American Blade Works Model 1 version 6.
Yeah.
Supposedly he has some, or I think he's already got it, but he's got Magna Cut versions at like 63 HRC, 63, 64 HRC, and they have been tested too.
Wait. Excuse me, your wife hates opossums? Did you tell her that they eat 50,000 ticks a year for her? Did you tell her that they get rid of all the? Did you tell her that they get rid of all the rats? Because I bet she would hate rats more.
Right. Which one would you rather have? The
Did you
super
tell her they
clean,
can't even get rabies?
the super clean possums,
Did you tell her they have
or
pouches?
the dirty ass
They're little
rats,
kangaroos.
diseased rats?
Yeah, I take a possum.
Yeah, possums have a body temperature that's low, so they can't. They don't carry
87 degrees.
Yeah, they don't carry diseases like other animals or rabies.
What is the name of the 4th ragtite? I know it. It's just one of those brain farts. It has the big cask on its head. It looks like a dinosaur. It's really colorful. It's endangered. It starts with a K. All I can think is capillary, and I know that the bird isn't named capillary. Cassowary.
Cassowary. Yeah. I think I had it on the channel.
Cassowary. Do you know cassowaries lay bright green eggs? They're so cool looking. Yeah, so I think there are 4. Emu, ostrich, rhea, and cassowaries.
Let's see this. Yeah, I have one of those mag blades. Yeah, I have one. I have a video on it. If you want to check it out. I think I called it magnetic balisong or something like that.
You don't know what a cassowary tastes like.
Yeah,
you
you don't
you would go
know.
to prison just
You
for
don't
killing
know.
one, let alone eating one. They're so protected.
You swapped out the bearings on yours? Did I? I think I did on mine too, actually. Yes, I did. I put skiffs in mine, or Gillians. I have Gillians in mine.
Kiwi birds look like teeny cassowaries. They're cute.
I mean, it's not supposed to be like a fall shut action knife. I'd love to see him do more knife designs. I really like it, you know, this knife. Full titanium S35VN. I'd like to get the Magna Cut version, but I'm happy with this one. He does do liner lock options as well. I hunt cassowaries. He hunts them. He ain't fucking around.
In a video game.
No. I shoot them with
Then they're real
incendiary motors. And then
what
they're
game
real
is
colorful.
that? Oh, by the way, I just saw that gift. Thank you very much. Seems logical. I was trying to get it to download, and Steam would not let me for the life of me. But I'm gonna try to get it to work.
Steam.
Thank you very much. That was very nice of you.
Steam.
You fed a possum to a cassowary. Oh, did you, Bubbles? Actually, cassowary could probably a cassowary could probably swallow like a baby possum just whole.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Their throats,
yeah, they stretch.
Don't be gross. Can just take in a lot.
Like take it.
They can just
fucking take that shit.
No, I saw one where they just were throwing apples down its throat, and it was just like no issue, and you literally see it slither the whole way down.
All right.
I was just coming in here to ask.
I know
we're about me to make you for dinner.
You can make whatever.
All right, I'm gonna go do that.
All right, so we have 9 more minutes. I want to talk about a new fragrance. Just because it's super cheap. Kara brought it home. I would never have bought this on my own.
You're making it sound so good.
Well, I'm saying because of the brand and everything, but it is damn good. So it's actually by Old Navy, I think. It's called Indigo Eau de Cologne EDC. So Indigo EDC. And it's really, really good. It's a sweet, it's got a sweetness to it and a pineapple fragrance, kind of like if you guys know Creed Avantis, which is a very, very expensive fragrance. And that's probably why they went that route with this, because it's such a popular fragrance. But it's like that with a sweetness to it. It reminds me a lot of Rojas, which I'll talk about in 1 second. But anyways, very cheap. It's like $30 for this bottle. You probably get it cheaper if you actually go into Old Navy. But it's really fucking good. Like really, really, really good. Surprisingly good. Now, the oil is not that great though. Like it's not super long lasting or anything like that, but it's cheap. So you can just spray the shit out of it. It projects good. The smell's great. It just doesn't last very long. Now, if you want a better quality version, it's very similar to the fragrance I talked about a while back. Rojas. El Home Lome Rojas. I can't link this, but it's similar to it. This has something else in the background. I think it's like a wood note. This has like a wood note in the dry down, or you know what, even the opening too. It's got a it's got that same pineapple citrusness, a hint of sweetness, and with a little bit of a woody note in the end. Really good, very masculine. Only men can wear this. This is a man's fucking cologne. But a damn good man's cologne. This one, I'll be honest, the fragrance is slightly better on this. Just does, but it's not as good a quality as this one, like with the oils, how long they last and everything. But this one takes the same pineapple note that's in this. It's not like pineapple like candy. I'm talking about like pineapple plant. Anyways, and adds a little sweetness to it. So this one has more sweetness to it, and then it doesn't have the woody note. So it's citrusy, pineapple-y, and then has a little sweetness to it. Very fresh. This is like shower gel fresh. And that's That's the thing with like brands like this. They try to do mass appealing fragrances that smell really fucking good. They really do. They're just not really good quality. That's the thing. But damn good fragrance. And yeah, I love it. I'm really happy she got this because this is something, you know, it's cheap. You can just spray the shit out of it. It smells good as fuck. This one's, you know, this one's actually not expensive either, but I can't link it. And but Lome Rojas. Good fragrance though. Just figured I would tell you guys about a fragrance since it's been a little while. Maurice is taking just a little break. He'll be back. He'll be back. He's taking a little bit of break, taking it easy, but we love and miss him. He'll be back soon, I'm sure. Old Navy, so you like it for a week, then it falls apart. Well, this isn't their clothes. This is the fragrance. So you got to remember, they don't make their fragrances, right? A company that makes fragrances makes this. It's kind of like anytime you see, like say my Mercedes-Benz fragrances, right? Fucking fire fragrances. They make really good fragrances. But they literally go to the best fragrance makers on the planet and have them make them a fragrance. They tell them, I want this type of fragrance. And then that company or that person, like a lot of times it's like the same guy who does like the most expensive colognes on the planet makes those colognes too. And it's just they hire him to make it and design it and everything. And they just tell them what they want. But usually with companies like, say, Mercedes-Benz or Coach is another one. Really good fragrances too. Coach is really good. They want mass appealing. So you know the fragrances are going to smell good because they don't want a niche thing. They don't want something that only these type of people want. They want to make a fragrance that everybody loves. So that's the same thing with something like this. But this one in particular, I didn't smell any of the other ones. The Indigo is the way to go. The Indigo is the way to go. Trashiest says IEDC a buck 110. What's your opinion? I say step into 2022 and try some new knives, but the buck 110, there's nothing wrong with the buck 110. I like the buck 110. It's outdated, you know. I like it. I think it's good. I think it has a solid heat treat for 420 HC steel. They do have S30V versions, I know, but for the money, you can get other knives, better knives. Because I'm not a huge fan of the old style backlocks. I will say I do really, really, really want to try these new backlocks that are coming now. Like their Best Tech has one, and then MKM has one. I forget the name of it, but I really want to try their two knives. They have two knives that have backlocks, but they're supposed to be like very snappy. Like you can flick them, like they're fidgety backlocks. They're not like old school backlocks, and I really want to try them. Big Daddy, you like mortars? What the fuck? You talking to me? Am I Big Daddy? I love mortars. I love blowing shit up. TA's Prof KO3 is a good sharpener for pocket knives. Yes. Any of the TS Prof systems are really good for sharpening knives. I mean, that's what they specialize in. That's what they do. But yeah, they're very, very good quality. Hey, Jared, could you have ever imagined you'd be reviewing fragrances? Come a long way, brother. No, I wouldn't. But I will say, though, that I've always been into fragrances. And my grandpa was really big into fragrances before. I didn't even know him, by the way. I was 6 months when he passed away. That specific grandpa. But, you know, when I was younger, I got into fragrances a little bit. I always had fragrances. I'm not saying I was into them, but I had them, right? I always had like 2 or 3 fragrances that I really liked. And I would stick to those, though. And I'd always go back and buy those same fragrances. When I'd run out, I'd go back and get that same fragrance. So I didn't have very many. I'd only have a couple. And then at one point, I did have a little bit of a collection going, but blah, 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 blah. Years later, you know, I've been slowly accumulating. Now I have a really big fragrance collection. Like it's like a knife collection. I have a big fragrance collection. Some of them I don't like though. Some of them I don't really wear. You know, I bought them, you know, with blind, but so there's a bunch of them I do not like, but I have a lot that I love. I absolutely love. And if I ran out, I would buy it again. I actually have a couple bottles that they'd sent me 2 instead of 1. So I actually have some I was thinking about giving away. One is a pretty good fragrance. The other one, not so much. But one of them is a really good one. What's wrong with young Maurice? He just needs to take a little break. He's nothing's wrong. He's fine. He just, sometimes people need to take a little nap. Christmas present for myself and my knives. What's up, Aunt? Hey, everyone. Happy all the political ads are over. Fragrance or knife show? More of a knife show, but I think EDC, right? And everyday carry still relates. Like, I like men things, right? Women things too, but I'm just saying, like, I'm a man. So I like man things, right? Whether it's everyday carry, clothes, belts, boots, watches, knives, shoes, fragrances, skincare. Like I like taking care of myself, and I like seeing you guys do the same. And I think if you do that, you'll get good results. I think if you take care of yourself, you'll everybody wants results without putting in work. But I think if you put in the work and you take care of yourself and you do the right things, you'll get the results that you're looking for, regardless of what they are, right? Like if it's for attracting women, you can do that. If it's just for better health, you can do that. If it's for fitness or skincare or swag or the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you communicate, the way you relate yourself, all those things can all be worked on and all improve. And I advocate for men to do that. And I still am going to start a new channel kind of into that a little bit. Are penguins cannibals? Yeah. When you're out there in the fucking middle of nowhere with nothing else to eat, you'd be a cannibal too. Bet money on it. For sure. Have you ever tried Kenneth Cole Black? It's pretty cheap. I used to wear it, but haven't in years. I don't think I've tried that one. I do have a Kenneth Cole though. Which one do I have? I have damn it, I can't think of the name of it, but I do have one, and it's really good. The one I do have, I really like it. I also have a David Beckham that's really good. I have I got a lot of fragrances, man. A lot, like a lot, like a lot. I have a lot of really good ones too. Like, in my opinion, the best men's fragrances you can buy, I have. Like there are some niche fragrances I don't have, but I've learned that niche fragrances are not the best. Some of them are good, a lot of them are not good. Like they're specific. And that's the problem with niche fragrances rather than mass appealing or what is it called? Um not name brand, but like Versace, brands like that, they are more mass appealing. They want to appeal to a bigger audience. And niche fragrances are very expensive and then have smells to them sometimes that a lot of people won't like. They're not mainstream. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. They're not mainstream at all. They're more set for specific people. And you have to really like whatever that fragrance is in order to like it. Yeah, plenty of Samelum. YSL. Yeah, I have almost all the YSLs. YSL is one of the best. My favorite YSL, I think I have it right here. I do have, check this out, which you guys can't get. So, but I do got it. I do got Blue Electric, which is really good. But my favorite one is Le Parfum. That one's my favorite. Such a good fragrance. A very blue fragrance. You can find many on Instagram. How about English leather? Oh yeah, I got a couple leather fragrances that are pretty good. I got this one tobacco fragrance. It's called The One, and it's good. Like, it's not completely my style, but I've worn it many times, and I know a lot of men really love it. Like, it is very popular among men, and it's good. It's good. But it's a tobacco. It's got a like almost a mintiness, not mint, menthol. It's got like a mentholy tobacco scent with leathers and woods and sweetness to it. So it's got a lot of sweetness and then some tobacco, so a little bit of menthol, a little bit, not a lot. Just a hint. And when you get all those smells together with the woods and the leather, it blends really nicely. And it's definitely a masculine scent. But women really like it too. I've watched a lot of street tests and a lot of women really like it. I think a lot of times it reminds them of things, um, you know, because it's not like tobacco, like it smells like a cigar. It smells like actual tobacco, like the scent of tobacco. It has that in it. Oh, what's up? Dukes of Hazard in the house. What's up? I picked up that Artisan Proponent full titanium frame lock. Chunky boy for sure. Hell yeah. Yeah, that thing's a beast. I haven't tried the full titanium one, but I do have the liner one, so I can imagine. But yeah, that is a beast. I bought my Buck 110 new in 1983. It was under $20. Don't remember exactly, but it is a very solid work knife. It absolutely is. It has stood the test of time. Don't get me wrong. The Buck 110 is iconic. It has stood the test of time. It's a tough knife. It's a work knife. It's a workhorse. It'll hold up to just about anything. It's a knife you can pass down to your grandchildren, and it's badass, and it works, right? There's a reason why every man from the 1970s or 60s all the way up to the 90s had Buck 110s. There's a reason. However, we've come a long way since the Buck 110 that was made in like the 60s, right? Think about that. It was made in like the 60s. And it was more for like a hunting knife. For EDC, like that's not the best blade shape. And I just think there's so many great things out there that you can get better. That's it. You can get better. Better steel, better, better everything. Action. My girlfriend is making me dinner. And I'm about to get off because I know I'm already running late. I do appreciate everybody hanging out. Ant says, my favorite scent tend to be boutique brands. The only exception is I love the Suavecito traditional scent. I don't know what that is. I tend to lean. I like an array of fragrances. Right now, if you guys want to know my two, I'll do this really quick while we're here. I'll tell you my two winter fragrances right now. So far, these have been more like, don't get me wrong, I've been wearing this the past couple days. And I really like the Coach. So let me just grab the other ones. I'm just gonna go down the line and tell you the best of the best right now. All right. The best you can buy out of all the ones I'm going to show you, and I say that because it's affordable and it is mass appealing good. It is such a good fragrance. Fuck, man, it makes me want to put it on right now. damn it, this smells good. But this will work in winter or summer. It's an all year fragrance. It works really good in the summer, and it has a little hint of spice for the winter, and that is Versace Dylan Blue. Versace Dylan Blue. You fucking can't go wrong with this stuff. Everybody should have this in their collection. However, a couple other ones that are really, really, really good. This one, very mass appealing, Coach for Men, and then Coach Platinum. This is more for colder weather. This is for hot weather, right? But this is so good that it's another one, mass appealing, like such a good scent. You cannot go wrong with this. You can wear this any time of the year for real. But this one's going to work really good in the colder times, and it does smell really good. This one has a little bit more woodsiness to it and earth tones and stuff. This one is a very fresh, sweet scent. But two fragrances that I've been wearing quite a bit in the winter. Azzaro Wanted by Night. It's sweet and spicy. That's it. It has some sweetness to it and a lot of spice. It's very similar to Spice Bomb Extreme. I like this better though. Think of Spice, if you know Spice Bomb Extreme. Think of that with a little bit more sweetness. That's what it is. And then Armani Code Absolute. This is a creamy, it's sweet, creamy, nutty fragrance. That's what it is. Sweet, creamy, and nutty. It's a like a kind of a almost a leather fragrance, like a leather, woodsy, creamy, sweet, nutty fragrance. But it's really good though. It has a tiny, 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 tiny hint of spice. I don't like a ton of spice. It has to be done right. Now, this next one I'm going to show is the spiciest of the bunch, and it is very spicy. And that is Sauvage Elixir. This is the most popular brand of, or the most popular fragrance of the year right here. Sauvage Elixir. It is literally the most popular brand. Now, I wouldn't say it's the best out of all these, but a lot of fragrance connoisseurs would. But basically, it smells like black pepper, cinnamon, and grape mixed together. It's grapey and very, very spicy. The spice the beautiful thing is though, the spice wears off. So when you first spray it, you're like, holy shit, that's too much spice. It dies down after like 5 minutes. And once that dies down, that's when the sweetness comes out and then it blends good. But when you first smell it, you're like, fuck, man, it's a little, it's shocking. But for some reason though, women fucking go crazy over this. I've watched so many street reviews on this and reviews. Women go crazy over it. But like I said, it's spicy. I will say though, the most mass appealing too though out of this bunch is going to be these two. Then this one, the Platinum. The YSL Le Parfum though, this stuff is fire. More of a summer fragrance though, but you could totally pull it off in the winter. Any fragrance you can pull off in the winter. Not all, but a lot of them you can. Anyways, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys sitting here hanging out with me and talking fragrances and dogs and animals and all the shit we talked about. We did talk a little bit about knives, but not as much as you'd think on a knife channel for sure. Anyways, we talk about whatever here. I think it was a fun live. I had a good time with you guys, and I appreciate you guys being here with me. So shout out to the patron members. Thank you for all the support. I do have 3. Is it 3? 2. I have 2 of the giveaway items this month. I have to get one more for you guys. I have 2. We might do a couple more than that because 2 of them are donated, and they're good though. They're really good. Like they're donated from a company. And we technically have a bunch of the USA made trade knives, but I'll be honest, they're not the best knives. So I don't want to, I'd rather give those away separately, and I want to make sure I give really good stuff to the patrons. So we have 2 things right now. We're accumulating some more, and then we're going to do the giveaway. So be patient. It won't be long. Shout out to all the Bang Gang members. We just did a live, so this Sunday is not going to be a live. Next Sunday will be. What else? You guys are awesome. Thank you for the donations. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I love you guys. Peace. Hey, don't be stinky bastards out there, okay? Don't be stinky bastards. Fucking grab yourself a good fragrance. Love you guys. Peace.